Hey guys, back here from our Pat here. Guys, do you ever find yourself with old rotted onions that you bought and you had every intention to use, and then weeks later or months later you find it in the fridge and they're like completely overgrown and it's all mushy? Well guys, don't throw them out. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use these onions in your garden, how you can grow from these old rotted onions. And I'm going to show you 4 ways actually to grow onions from literally from things that you would discard. All right, guys, let's get started. So guys, I actually had these onions in my garage fridge. I bought a whole ton of onions, both the regular yellow onions and the purple onions, because I had every intention to make my own onion powder. I wanted to make my own homemade onion powder, but guys, that didn't happen. By the time I went back, it looked like this. So let me show you guys, don't toss these. Let me show you what you can do to have your own onions. You can see I already started on this one. I actually started on this one weeks ago and I did not finish, but this is all good. This can still be planted. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna shell the outer layer off. And as you shell the outer layer off, all this mushy stuff, this mushy part, you're gonna take that all off. It's actually, look at that, it's actually leaking juices. But as you take off all this bad layer, you're gonna see some onions underneath. Let me get all this mushiness off. And normally guys, whenever my onions, start going bad like this, I just dump it, because I did not know, I didn't even think about it actually to grow it. Oops. Take this layer off. And as you take the layers off, you can see that there are actually multiple onions. 1, 2, 3. There are actually 3 different onions. So the key is keeping some of these roots. Look at all these nice roots. Okay, can you see that? Look at all these nice roots that are forming. So the key is to keep some of these roots on each of the onions that you're separating. So I'm gonna take a knife and I'm gonna just separate. Make sure that there are some roots on each. Wow guys, this is like a big one. This is a big one. This looks like almost like it could be split again, but I'm gonna keep this as one. So I'm gonna plant this. This one here, I'm gonna split in 2. Guys, and you can see each one has some roots. You have to have some roots on each one. All right? Just gonna take this extra layer off. So you have your roots. You can see some new roots started to form. And we're gonna plant 1, 2, 3 onions. Take this outer layer off. See, it has its roots. So let's do it one more time. Then I'm gonna switch to the other ones. This is the one that I already started, so I'm just gonna split this apart. Be sure not to just break it, because when you break it, you actually break off the roots. See? Don't just break it, actually cut it. So I'm gonna cut this one. You can just use a sharp knife to make sure you get roots on each half. So here I have roots on each piece. All right, so I'm gonna do these other ones offline, but I wanna show you what else I have. So I'm just gonna say this for the, I know most of you guys know this, but for the ones who don't know it, since I have new people coming every month, thank you for subscribing. If you have green onions, all of us love green onions in our food. You can see green onions always have the roots at the end. This is what you do. You cut the green onions, like about 2 inches is fine. 1.5 inches, 2 inches is fine. And you can plant these ends with the roots in the ground, you'll have new green onions within a couple weeks. You can cut and come again at least 3-4 times, but that's a great way to have your green onions. Also, I had bought onion starts. So you have to buy onions based on your area. I'm in Florida. In Florida, we have short days. So you have to get the short day onions if you want them to develop. So here are the onion starts that I bought. I bought yellow onion starts and I bought red. The red ones didn't say if they're short or long days. I'm just hoping that since I bought it in Florida, that it's short days, not long days. Some moisture actually hit the bag and you can see it's already, a couple of them are already starting to grow. I'm gonna take it into the garden now and show you where I'd already planted some onion starts a few weeks ago. Guys, I've had these onions literally probably over a month trying to do this video, but I've just been so busy. But I got to it now. I'm gonna go show you some onion starts. Some of these that I planted. I planted some of the yellow and red a month ago. I'm gonna show you how they're doing right now. Guys, so here are the green onions I planted just a few weeks ago. Well, actually about 4 weeks ago. And as you can see, they've grown up quite nicely. And guys, quick tip, you can use some of these greens, these as green onions. You don't have to go out and buy green onions. Once you start growing your onions, you can use some of these greens. Just always make sure that there are some greens on there, because if you cut it back, that's going to affect the photosynthesis and the growth. But you can use them. I wouldn't cut them all the way down to the bottom, but you can use like a few inches of them. You can see these are super long, so no reason for me to buy green onions in the store. All right, so let's grow these. Let's plant these real quick. Let me give you some tips about the soil. So onions, they do like fertile soil. They do like full sun. So make sure you find a nice sunny spot. I don't have any trees around. This is right up against my patio. So this gets full sun in the morning and most of the afternoon. So let's go ahead and plant them. So I started with my rich soil. You can use organic. This is a raised bed, so you can use organic raised bed mix. If you have it in a pot, you can use an organic potting mix. You can use garden soil. You know, just make sure that the soil isn't too compacted. You can see I mixed in a little bit of my native soil, which is very sandy. I mixed this in with some garden soil, and it's a different mix of different things. Also, I would recommend for onions, whether you use compost. Compost is also great. You can use compost, which is rich in nutrients. You can use, I'm going to use some of my compost tea on here. If you're not sure about your soil, add some organic vegetable mix, or all-purpose, organic all-purpose, just to make sure you give it a good start. So you make a hole. Let's do some of these first. So you make a hole. You can see this. I don't know if you saw the roots before, but guys, you see this one is already full of roots. I'm just gonna plant this in here. And guys, this is a big onion. I mean, literally, it could have been used already as is, but I'm gonna plant it so I can grow my onion. All right, so let's go about 6 inches apart, because you want to make sure that the onions have space to expand and get big. 6 inches apart. I'm planting this one here, and then plant some of these little starts. I'm gonna go maybe 4 inches on this. Some red ones, 4 inches. And you can see I'm covering them up, but I'm not covering them too deep. 4 inches. 4 inches, little hole. Doing a yellow one now. See those little roots? Doing a yellow one, 4 inches here. Let's do some green onions. Green onions, very easy. Stick your finger in, drop it in, and the green onions, I leave the top out. Let's do another one. Stick your finger in, drop it in, and green onions out. Green part out. This one has already sprouted, so I'm gonna leave the sprout out. Go 4 inches across, cover it up, leaving a green sprout out. Let's go another 4 inches on this yellow. Make a space, stick it in, and cover it up. I just left the very tip out. So guys, what you do after this, gonna water it in, but I'm gonna cover it with straw. You can see the onions that I had before has a straw in there. Chickens had gotten in there a couple times and dug up some of the onions. I just covered them back with the soil when they dug them up. And I'm gonna cover this with straw now, and I'm gonna go inside and of course plant the rest out. So this bed is dedicated to onions. So here's another tip. So normally with my green onions, I've only grown onions once, guys, and it was literally by accident. So you might have seen my video a few months back where I dug up an onion, unexpected onion. It had like 6 pegs to the onion. I was super excited. It was like 6 onions in one. Super excited. And what I think I did there was I cut the bottom of my onion. So like you see with these onions, you saw me separate each piece and plant each piece separately. I believe what I did with that one is that I used the onion, I just had the bottom left, and I planted the bottom, and I got 6 whole new onions. So here you saw me separate them, but literally that's a fourth way you can plant onions. So 1, you can use the onion starch. 2, your old onions, you can separate them and plant each one separately. 3, you can plant the bottoms of your green onions. And 4, you can just slice the bottom of an onion off, plant the bottom, and you'll get multiple onions from it. So those are 4 ways. So what did I want to tell you? Oh, another tip with onions. You don't want to plant your onions in a bed that has, say for instance, my mustard greens get huge. If you plant your onions in a bed where the other ones are going to crowd it out, you may not get the onions to really fully bulb and everything. Also, onions need cool weather to really bulb up. Just like garlic, they need some cool weather. That's why now it's almost December. Call it December. Yeah, it is December. Oh my gosh, today is December, guys. Wow, December 1st. So it's December, so the weather is supposed to be cooling down. So now is a perfect time to plant some onions. Another great tip, onions are supposed to act like a repellent. So you can actually plant your onions around other plants as long as it has some space to get some kind of light. You can stick some of those onion bulbs. I'm actually gonna go through this bed and stick onion bulbs sporadically throughout all my garden beds. This one I'm actually growing some scotch bonnet peppers. I'm gonna stick some random onions. So you don't have to grow them all in one bed. You can grow them in between different plants as long as they don't get completely crowded out. Like you can see my mustard greens, my cauliflower. If I planted onions here, they'll be crowded out. As a matter of fact, I think I have onions here. Hold on, let me see. Well, this one is in the corner. But you can see, guys, you can stick your onions around. I have this one in the corner and right beside my thyme. Morning, girls. Yeah? Yeah, I agree. So guys, that's it. I wanted to show you real quick how you can use those old onions and use those onion bottoms. You don't have to go out and get starts, which I did this time, but you can just use your old onions and grow them from that. Okay guys, till next time, hope you enjoyed it. If you do enjoy this content, if you want to learn more about growing food, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see what else is coming. Till next time, bye now.